Hello everyone and welcome back to my fourth tutorial. This one is a very redstone heavy one instead of a more technical side. So this, as promised in my most recent episode of Terra Ventures, this is a tutorial showing you how I built this, and a list of the resources hopefully is in the description if I can figure out exactly how much of each I need. So let's get straight into it. Rightio, now that you've gathered up your resources that should be in the description, time to start digging. So first off, we need to dig a 12 by 2 deep hole. So sorry, 3 deep, 2 wide, and 12 long. So let's just quickly get that done. Okay, now that we've dug the hole, we need to stick our sticky pistons, our 12 sticky pistons in there, the 12 of our redstone dust along here, and we need to get our redstone blocks and dump them on top of the sticky pistons. So this is the pushing mechanism that's going to power these pushing pistons that will go up. So in that case, we now need to push the pistons. Let me just check. They need to go they just go up. So temporary piston and up there, and push them all along the same. So you may need to shift click these in when you're in survival. Sorry, obviously I'm in creative, so I can just fly. Let's just quickly get that done, and there we go. So the next bit, temporary block, you can use a magenta, what do you call it, terracotta here, placing that way so you can see the blocks go in this direction. I didn't in this design over here. What do we do now? We do a temporary block here, followed by a piston. Make sure there's a block under here. A piston facing in this direction. Now I believe we need a redstone torch to there, followed by a block. No, that's not quite correct. We need the torch there, I believe. I need to check this. So the redstone torch goes in the block in front of the piston. So there, underneath, make sure that's a block there, and cover that up. We also need, yes, that's there. So this is going to power here. So we need a sticky piston. So temporary block, sticky piston facing the opposite direction, and an observer facing downwards. So let's get that in, facing downwards, and make sure you have a block here. So what this does is trying to send a redstone signal in the same direction as the arrow, facing towards me. When a block comes here, the redstone signal comes through this block up into the piston, sending the observer across. The observer will then power this block, powering this piston and sending the block across. And then of course the piston gets retracted, and the redstone signal is reset. So we've got our pushing mechanism. Don't put the water in yet. Well, you can actually put the water in yet, but since you're still dealing with redstone, I would advise that you do not. But that is something simple like that, and the water bucket will just go in there. So we'll get rid of that for now. So after that, you need to you might as well put that in, because the next step I'm going to say is you need your 12 pistons across, 12 across, and 12 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So let's get that quickly filled in. And there we go. So what do we do next? We should work on the pushing mechanism for the bottom half of pistons. So first off, we need an observer facing into this block here. So observer, temporary block, and observer facing out. A redstone block, a normal block there, with redstone dust, and the same again going down. So down. Clear out a little space down here. We need quite a bit of room here. We need a sticky piston. Where's one of my sticky pistons? There we go. There. I'm really not good at this tutorial stuff, am I? Sticky piston facing up like that. An observer facing like this. So that's going to try and detect a signal from this. So when a redstone signal comes out, it goes like that, and a repeater on the in the same level as the piston here. And not water. This is why you should never carry water in your inventory when you are doing redstone. And the redstone does like this. Put this on 4 ticks, I think, or 1 tick. It shouldn't. I don't think it matters. In my experimentations I had it all over the place, but on the first, let's try for the first tick since that's what I've got over there. From here, you need to place glass, not a solid block. It must be glass here, and then you can have solid blocks. So 6, I think. 6 like that, with the dust there. The first of your repeaters here, and another one facing back into it. This one must be on 4 ticks. 2 more blocks there, and send the redstone signal around there. So what this does, it will, when you're powering this block here, nothing's going to happen, but when you're powering this block here, it's going to send a signal here, allow the piston to push up. That would then power this signal, and it's going to go all the way around. This repeater is here to block the signal, so because the piston is going to fire up and then down, which is going to fire the observer twice, you only want this to go once. So that is why that signal is there. Coming from there, you send your signal down into your pistons. So let's just test to make sure that's working. And that's working perfectly. So now you've got the pushing mechanism done. Time to start work on this giant work of art. First things first, you want to start off by putting your building blocks on every second level of piston, leaving the first one free and then the third one, so just like I'm doing on the screen. So this shouldn't take too long, so there won't be a cut. This would also be a good time to put your redstone dust on top of each of those. So I probably should have done that as I was going. So redstone dust on all of those, and come across like this, and redstone dust there, and I actually left the bottom one by accident, like so, and redstone dust here. So this is where it's important to make sure that this goes down by level, because otherwise this redstone dust is going to interfere with this level here, and we do not want that. So we need to work on the pushing mechanism for these pistons, and it needs to be a different circuit. So first off, we need to observe the block here coming out of this piston, so temporary block, and put a piston there. We need to repeat this thing down, this circuit down here for these pistons. So once again, coming down, dust out of here. How did I do this? We'll get 2 dust. I suppose you could do it this way, but I'm going to build it exactly the same way. Piston, the observer needs to go facing into this redstone dust. So this is probably where you're going to have to use your scaffolding to get up. So piston and observer facing in there. What am I saying? A repeater going into here on 1 tick, and 2 redstone dust. Your glass, a piece of redstone dust, your 6 blocks or 5 blocks to build your circuit breaker, not your circuit breaker, your thing to make sure that this observer only fires once. So dust repeater on 0 ticks, your 4 redstone dust, and a repeater on 4 ticks. From here you need your glass, so build out on each of these. Again, I probably should have done this earlier. And then redstone dust on all of those as well. And you need a piece of glass like this. So this is your redstone tower. So just requires a little bit of finesse. There we go. And instead of putting redstone dust here, you want a repeater on the starting delay. So this is going to power all these lines. So there we go, and we want redstone dust here. And I think we're done. So is that all? Looks like it. So let's just give that a quick test. There we go. So, what I believe we're now all done. So now, if you haven't already, you can put the water in. Water. That didn't quite work. What did I do wrong? Ah, yes, I need to put the water there. So, now we've got it. Now we can trial this thing. So, we've got our concrete dust, concrete powder, and just right click, or you can put a auto clicker if you wish. I would say probably about every 2 seconds you want to click. Why didn't that work? Yeah, because it hasn't quite reached yet. And I think I may have done this one thing too large. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, I've actually built this one bit too long. So, but you need to make sure that you've only got 12 pistons along here. But in theory, once you get to the end, this will push up, and so on and so forth. That's just so you'd have this entire wall full of black concrete. This will push up, and it'll push out. So that's worked perfectly. So I hope you've enjoyed this, even if I did do it slightly wrong. You remember, only 12 pistons long, and the rest of the redstone is as the same. Now, there is a slight edit you can make to the entire machine. Instead of having a block here, I had a red nether brick here. You can have a redstone dust and then the redstone dust here. Let me just see if this would work. Yes, it will. So what you can do here is that you can fill your inventory completely with concrete powder, but it's not going to be quite enough for this machine to be fully kitted up. So what you can do is put the redstone dust here and a dispenser or a dropper here, and I'll make sure to include that in the redstone list. Then what you can do as well is hopper and chest, or a double chest really. So we can put a hopper here, and chest, and you can fill that completely with concrete powder. Then all you have to do is stand here, and I'll go into game mode survival. So 3. You can. Okay, why didn't that work? Oh yeah, that's right, over here. That thing. So it'll go over there. This is where I wish I actually did this correctly. Oh, come on. No, okay, I need a shovel. Alright, let's just cut there. And we're back. So we've got three thingamabobs in our inventory. So as we click here, you can see that our concrete powder in our inventory never goes below 2. So this is quite a good thing. So this will help you keep stocked up with concrete powder. So I think that is quite a handy thing. And I just thought of it actually in between. Actually, to be honest, finished the video and had it all ready to go, and then I realized, wait a minute, your inventory can't actually hold the entire thing that this machine can hold. So a little bit of an oopsie there. But anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed this video, including the slight edit. And if you have, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and all that. And see you in the next one. Goodbye.